What's up, everybody? In this video, we are going to discuss what is RDP and how we can secure the RDP. So let's start with the RDP. What is RDP? RDP is a remote desktop protocol. It is the proprietary protocol developed by Microsoft, which provide a user with a graphical interface to connect to another computer over a network connection. The user employs RDP client software for this purpose, while other computer must be run a RDP server software. Microsoft currently refer to their official RDP client software as a remote desktop connection, formerly known as a terminal service client. If multiple RDP client is trying to connect to RDP server, then you need to purchase the RDP license also. Now let's talk about the basic security tips for the remote desktop. So first you have to use a strong password for the RDP. Additionally, you have to use a two-factor authentication, plus make sure your OS is up to date, so update your software regularly. Restricts access using a firewall for inbound connection, so you can control incoming connection. Enable a network level authentication. Limit user who can log in using a remote desktop. You have created a multiple administrator, then you can restrict the user. Limit the number of connection. So if you have purchased the RDP license, then you can multiple clients are trying to access RDP, then you can restrict also. And set a account lockout policy. If anyone is doing a brute force or attack on RDP, then you can set the account lockout policy. I have created some notes for that. So basic security tips for the remote desktop: use a strong password. Use a two-factor authentication is simple mechanism for controlling authentication via two-factor certificate-based smart card. This is approach to utilize the smart desktop host itself in conjunction with the YubiKey and RSA example. If you have a server edition, then you can enable the server role feature in network policy and access service. So after that, it's whenever you are accessing the RDP server, it's ask a username, password plus third party token or authentication like OTP. Network security policy. Network policy and access service provide the network policy server, NPS, health registration authorized, HRA, and host credential authorization protocol, which help us safeguard the health and security of your network. So you need to enroll these rules in a server edition. After that, update your software. So regularly you need to update your OS if is there any update available. Restrict accessing using a firewall setting for inbound connection. So let's go. Okay. Advanced setting. In inbound rules, you need to find the RDP desktop TCP in remote desktop, and after whenever you are click on RDP properties in scope, you can set the local IP address if is there any local IP is accessing for any IP address, or you can set the selected public IP address as well as same for the remote IP address. So you can assign the selected incoming connection for the RDP. Now enable the network level authentication. So whenever you are enabling the RDP, After that, you have to allow a remote assistant connection to this computer, and allow remote connection to this computer must be enabled. The allow connection only from computers running a remote desktop with network level authentication. It's always recommended. Limit user who can log in using a remote desktop. So you can go open the local security policy using the Windows R and secpol.msc, or as well you can go with the start program administrator, local security policy and local policy. In local policy you can find that the user rights assignment. So here you allow a login through a remote desktop service. So in many cases the system have multiple administrator accounts, so for and you have to allow only particular selected administrator to allow the RDP. Then you can set the configure the RDP service for particular administrator in local policies setup. But if you have an AD setup and you have configured GPO and that, then you have to go a computer configuration policy, security setting and user rights assignments, and allow a logon through a remote desktop service, and you can add a user or group as per your requirement to provide RDP access for particular users or administrator. And you can also restrict the RDP access for selected groups or users in computer configuration, security setting and restricted group. Now let's talk about the limit the number of connection if you have purchased the RDP license. If you have purchased the RDP license, then you multiple client is accessing the RDP server. So you can check it in GP Edit MSc. In local group policy editor you can find the remote desktop service or remote desktop connection host and connection, and limit the number of connection. So you can restrict the limit number of connection as per your requirement. Now let's talk about the set account logout policy. So by setting your computer to log an account for a set number of incorrect guesses. For example, if we have set the value 5, then whenever we enter the 5-time wrong password, then account will be locked based on your configured policy. For example, you have configured after a 5 invalid login at times or 3. So based on your policy, account will be locked out. So it's a protect from the brute force attacks against the RDP. So in a normal system you can access local policy, administrator tool, local security policy, account lockout policy. After that you can set the new value of your account lockout policy. If you are using a AD, Active Directory and GPO, then you can edit on computer configuration policy, Windows settings, security setting, account policy, account lockout policy, account lockout threshold value, and reset the lockout counter after. Right now I haven't AD setup, so that's why I am using a screenshot for that. So in this screenshot you can see that in your group policy manager editor, so computer configuration and security setting and account lockout policy, you can define your account lockout policy as per your requirement. Now let's talk about the best practice for additional security for RDP. So first, do not allow RDP access to client or server from over the internet. So if you have firewall at gateway level, then you can configure SSL client for remote access. Other option is if you are accessing a direct RDP access to client or server from one branch to another branch, then use IPsec VPN. If you don't have any firewall at gateway level, then use a RDP gateway. So for that remote desktop connection, option add advanced one, and you can configure here the RDP gateway server based on your requirement. I will share the link for how we can set up the RDP gateway in video description. Now change the listening port for remote desktop on local system. So let's go. You can go into HKE local machines, systems, control set, terminal server, Win system, and RDP TCP. Here you can search port number. Yes, now you can edit this and disable. You can change the port number of your RDP on local system. If you are accessing the RDP client or server over the internet, then change the external mapped port on port forwarding firewall rule and whitelist IP address in port forwarding rule instead of any IP address. If this is the also most recommended if you are using a port forwarding rule for RDP access. Now discuss regarding the tunnel remote desktop connection through IPsec or SSH. If using an RDP gateway is not feasible, then you can add an extra layer of authentication or encryption by tunneling your remote desktop connection through IPsec or SSH. IPsec is built in all the Windows operating system since Windows 2000, but we use management greatly improved in Windows 10. So if an SSH server is available, you can use a SSH tunneling for a remote desktop connection. So I will share the link regarding how to configure SSH tunnel in a remote desktop manager in a video description. Now let's talk about the keep track of who is logging into your PC and from where. So for that you have to check the event log of system. So you can go in the event viewer, application service and logs, Microsoft, Windows, terminal service and local session manager and an operational. So after that you can see the in screenshot. You can find the events regarding all the RDP access